we get our first feature of the night, Al's piece up here. But before we do that, before we go on the piece, we need to get into the meat of the evening. We need to get into the danger zone. And I'm going to introduce the most dangerous man in comedy right now. The most dangerous man in stand-up comedy in the San Fernando Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richie the Sea. Give it up for Richie.
Wow, thank you, Jerome. Happy birthday. Give it up for Marcel, everybody. And Dana. Yes, you can be as funny as a pastafarian. Just use your noodle.
There we go.
Kaboom. Yeah, you're right. If we were more like Jesus, we wouldn't turn our back on Jesus, now would we? Kaboom. That's Southern humor. That's border humor. So everybody, what's the difference between a Mexican and a Southerner?
What?
A Mexican knows when he can't speak English. Oh, kaboom. Yeah, kaboom. No, I'm a lot like Mark. We're Mexican in different ways. No, he's Mexican and doesn't speak English. I'm white and I doesn't speak Spanish. I'm white and I speak Spanish, and we're both Raiders fans. That's kind of like indigenous. Kaboom. Yeah, most Mexicans most of them have indigenous blood. I mean, Native American blood. I'll shorten it for you. A Mexican is just an Indian who won't go away.
Oh, wow.
Kaboom. Now, some of you know I don't mind talking about race because I'm half German. It means a lot of my relatives were black when they came out of the oven. Oh, I know. Talk about ashy skin. You thought you had a smoking problem. You miss your relatives. I sneeze and they're gone. Kaboom. My Jewish friends give me crap about that because we're just giving you crap because you're paying for the sins of your father. I go, no, you're giving me crap because you don't understand this joke. Of course I'm paying for the sins of my father. My father was Jewish and he never paid for anything. Kaboom. And I can say that because it's true. And I have to say that because Jerome is from Cleveland. Jerome, like my girl, see, I don't have to call my girlfriend, I just have to see Jerome. And I feel a little less creepy, you know? Greatest kidnappers, greatest serial killers. First black serial killer outside of Atlanta. Did you know that? Jeffrey Sewell. Breaking boundaries. You know, I didn't. So here's the part that if you're not offended yet, you might be offended by this part. Just so you know. See, and then this is where we get in, you know, stereotypes. Because sometimes, you know, you want to be open-minded, but you're racist even if you're not. And I said, wow, black serial killer. That's amazing, because I figured he could do, you know, I figured he'd have the smarts. I figured he'd have the, you know, the stick-to-itiveness. I figured he'd know how to get rid of everything and stuff like cover. You know, he'd have the persistence. It's just the thing is, you know, you've seen all these movies, like, you know, I figured he'd have to talk about it, right? He'd have to go into the barber shop and sit down, and they'd put the towel around his neck. Do you know where I'm going with this? And he'd have to start talking. He'd have to say, ever notice how black girls die like this? Oh, I'm so sure you're not going to strangle me. That'll go, and black girls die like this. Oh, no, you did not just try to grab me by my weave and choke me to death. This is a I'm just playing. I can't kill me no sister. How can I bury me a sister? Have that big old booty sticking out of the ground. Shit. Kaboom. I'm glad you're here because this stuff doesn't always work. I don't think it worked. No, the thing is, I did a show in Montana, and I didn't think I had anything in common with the folks there because I'm half German and half Jewish. But I did my set. This was a triple run, but And nobody, nobody left. Nobody laughed, but nobody left. The headliner was there. He said nobody left. Everybody stayed. Turns out then the headliner came on, crushed it, sold DVDs, T-shirts, everything. Found out later people wanted refunds for my half of the show. Yeah. So you see, everybody, I was wrong. There are Jews in Montana. Oh, kaboom. No, and of course, I'm open-minded. Of course, I speak Spanish. As a German, I probably have a lot of relatives in South America. And, kaboom. And I'm not one of these white people about people, complaining about people stealing their jobs. I stole my job back. Turns out for $8 an hour, you can steal lots of jobs back. Kaboom. I was so committed, I went to Spain and I stole my job back over there, because Spain is where they invented Mexicans. Kaboom. Except the thing is, they didn't invent Home Depot. Nobody knows where to stand. Kaboom. Because sometimes people get political with me. They say, Richie, you've abandoned lots of people in the desert. What do you think about illegal immigration? So you know what? I love those undocumented immigrant girls, because before you put them in the trunk of your car, they always think they're going someplace better. Who knew trabajo could be such a great pickup line? Si se puede. And kaboom. These are just jokes. That's funny, we haven't gotten to the creepy part of the show. Because when I said, I want you to know this is all about love, And I tell this to parents all the time. And so if you love your daughter so much, how come I'm the only one following her home from school every day? Right? Maybe if you followed her home, she'd get into your van. Maybe she'd ask you for ice cream. Kaboom, thank you, Zach. If you love your daughter so much, how come you've only got that little tiny picture for in your wallet? That little tiny picture for in your mantle? That little tiny picture for on your desk? Have you seen the wall of my apartment? It's covered with pictures of her. And that has to be a comforting thought. Kaboom. If you love your daughter so much, why are you always quibbling about money, It's like you want her to, It's like you want her to work for free. You know how hard it is to pay union scale, even on the films I make? Kaboom. It's like you want nothing to remember her by. Kaboom. Is it time for me to wrap up?
Wrap it up, Richie.
It's time for me to wrap up. And what to wrap up with, besides... You were just clapping for the set to end. Why am I laughing? It's time for me to wrap up. And what to wrap up with, besides duct tape, what to leave you with, besides an alibi. How to send this up. Besides in flames. Somebody told me that, well, wait a minute. Do we talk about the weather? We're talking about the beach?
I think we talk about the weather, Rich.
Okay. Because I know it's getting to beach weather, right? Everybody excited about going to the beach? But I'm kind of romantic. I'm kind of sentimental. I used to love going to the beach with my girlfriend, walking through the waves, toes in the sand. But I had to stop doing that because one time my ex came and ruined it by washing up on shore. I know. Kaboom. I told her she was getting carried away, but hope is like that. Hope floats. Kaboom. At least she wasn't like Bobby. She was popping up everywhere. But she was just boy crazy. Kaboom. One word of advice, guys. If your girlfriend's talking about the first time you choked her, you're not doing it right. Kaboom. I'm Richie the C. Please forget you heard this set. Thank you very much.
Richie the C, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it going, boy.